Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Pokemon Unite cast. This cast is taking place on the day of the Duraludon patch, where Duraludon got nerfed pretty hard to the point where I'm not even sure what generation they're from. But today we are casting a game on the request of Carpe Guitarum in the comments. Once again, if you want me to cast a particular Pokemon, then leave a comment with that request. But we're starting off with a Snorlax game, as was requested by our wonderful viewer. Let's introduce our players. Once again, we do have some names that I'm not going to be able to pronounce due to my inability to pronounce anything outside of the Latin alphabet, and most strings in the Latin alphabet incorrectly as well. We have a Duraludon. We have Mind Circle playing the Zeraora, immediately going in for a turn-in. Snorlax is once again going to be our main character we'll be following today, just for a little bit of analysis on that. One of my favourite characters as well. Shame it isn't too prominent in the meta these days. A Jigglypuff is being played by Arswa. Arswas? We're going to call them Ars. And probably get demonetized as it be. We have a Fletchling, soon to be, of course, a Talonflame in the jungle, ready and willing to gank their teammates. Is already on that second evolution. On the red side, we're actually going to have another Doublade, soon to be an Aegislash. That is going to be Satek. I'm going to be playing that. Nice to see another Aegislash after the recent video. We'll see if they do a little bit better. Swinub is being played by Ruru? Roy? We're going to go with Rai, I think it's correct there, as we lose very quickly that Doublade. A little bit unlucky. Swinub is forced to retreat. We have a Greninja up in this top lane. A Cinderace, not a Cinderace, sorry, a Serena. I can talk today. And we finally have a Hooper, who will be Midoriya. No super strength, but portaling abilities to help out the team this time. So right now, 57-50 at this early stage of the game. We already have quite a few attempts at these turn-ins. You can see the blue team have a bit more of a massively defensive style. Trying to just make the most of Snorlax's big health pool to go for the turn-in there. But with Serena and the Hooper, they're able to blast through Snorlax's shield and get the focus. Serena will get their 5 in. That's going to be 57-55. Snorlax just with the rest for a little bit of regen right now. Everyone else playing quite safe, although Mind Circle went for a sneaky back turn, but was completely interrupted on that gold zone. Serena and Hooper once again able to pick up that kill. Snorlax went in for another go, but this time Greninja here to try and chase them down. The trick from Hooper to try and help chase down Snorlax, and that will be a kill. Blue team purple team do have the slight advantage in terms of points, in terms of AOS orbs, but they are losing in terms of map control, as another turn-in did just happen in the top lane, resulting in the death of that goal zone. Serena going to get focused down in this fight, completely getting blasted, will make their way back to the goal zone, and everyone else will retreat. Very few actual kills in this fight, but it's looking very close. Massive stun comes out as it comes Pillow-Swine, picking up the kill at the Talonflame. Turn around as they try to take out the Wigglytuff, and Snorlax, arriving too late to be too useful in this fight, will get wiped out. That is going to be a 4-0 in favor of the orange team there. Very nicely done. Dominant position for them. Zeraora, move it up towards the top lane. Has 25, now 28 to turn in. That's going to be a pretty big advantage. Snorlax going to try and make a play. Trying to help out with the fight over this Dreadmore. Diving in for the Dreadmore. Deep into that. And it will go over to the red team, though. The dive was unsuccessful. And it's another near team wipe in favor of the orange team as they continue to extend their lead. Aegislash now in full form. Zeraora was able to get the Rotom up in this top lane, and Aegislash will not make it in time before that goal zone is destroyed, making this a 2-for-1 in favor of orange team for their goal zones. Zeraora going to do battle with the Aegislash here. Aegislash very effective in 1v1s, going in deep for the kill, for the final dive, gets the kill, and that was a very effective Aegislash fight. Back it up, gets the trick to help clear this out. We're not going to see a huge reaction from the blue team here. They're just going to play a little bit further back, make sure that their lanes are clear, and wait until they are regrouped with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left remaining. Talonflame needs to be very careful where they're positioned. Already going to get focused down as Serena dives in. There's the fly for the attempt and escaping, but Aegislash in range has to use the ultimate to try and turn this round, but is dropping so low. Serena with the chase. Another fly to try and dodge, but Aegislash is too on point and in position to turn this up. The block comes out from Snorlax, though, to separate Aegislash from the rest of the fight, but Aegislash will dive through, completely splitting the team team in twain, and that leaves Snorlax very alone. But Snorlax might actually get away here. We're not going to be so lucky for Wiggly, who's going to get focused down, slowed there by the Greninja. They're trying to get the kill. Sleep ticking 1, 2, and Aegislash with the perfect rotation will pick that up as a kill. Very nicely done here. Looking for the attack. Once again, Talonflame into the backline, trying to do some damage, but it's taken out again by Greninja. This is a rough game for Talonflame, but even with all this happening, we're seeing the real value of a potential split pusher on your team, as Mind Circle has been picking up objectives, has managed to turn in 78 for their team, and achieved a bit of a lead, currently an almost 30-point lead, as here comes Snorlax with the block into the corner, Ruination to trap everyone inside, as they try to turn this fight in their favor. Snorlax with the ultimate, going to take quite a bit of damage from Hooper as the Unbound Ring comes out. Serena doing huge damage onto the side. In the meantime, Talonflame is in the backline trying to do dueling with that Aegislash, but Aegislash will take them down. Will go down instead, but it's still going to be a massively won fight for the orange team. Another score as Dreadmore goes down, but another score came in for the Zeraora, who's continuing just to be incredibly bullying towards their opponents and make it so much harder for them to contest. Aegislash making their way in, Mamoswine, Serena looking for the kill as they chase down Zeraora, and Zeraora unable to survive the 1 versus 3 as Aegislash will start onto the Rotom. No turn in as of yet from Satak, doing their best, but it will be a very easy Rotom for the red team. Right now, Talonflame, the only one in position for the defense there. Need some reinforcements. We're seeing Duraludon making their way over, and a few teleports as well. They're going to dive past the Rotom and look for the kill, but that's going to just result in Aegislash dashing away. An attempted chase comes out from Mind Circle, who will successfully pick up that kill. Snorlax holding bot lane solo for now, as Rotom did get killed. And again, despite this, kill-wise, going so in favor of the orange team, but the split push potential that we have been seeing from the blue team means they are actually continuing to extend their lead. Ult comes out from Talonflame, and this time gets revenge on Greninja. Serena comes in from the other side, trying to chase them down. Unable to do so, unable to pick up the kill. Snorlax using the block for the shield, trying to push these away from the enemy so that they can get the better position. Here comes Talonflame once again into the backline, but the health is too low, and Snorlax just does not contribute to that fight, just decides to stay out of danger and back away. Zeraora is being chased down. This is a rough position to be in, but they're still going to attempt to make the flee, and will do so. Mind Circle getting out of danger. There's now a 60-point difference between these two teams, but that is with Zapdos coming up. Blue team cannot afford to give up Zapdos here. The question is, will Zeraora go for a split play in the time being? We're going to see a quick Dreadmore attempt, which means Zeraora will get this turn down in bot lane. That's another big chunk of points before Zapdos killing another goal zone here, and now they can join their team for Zapdos without too many worries. Red team have been able to pick up the Dreadmore, that little bit of shielding, and that's perfect timing for the Zapdos now as they will step forward, trying to set themselves up. Zeraora is flanking from behind as they dive in. Their Unbound Rings come out. There's a huge ult from the Wigglytuff. Then goes Talonflame to the backline to hold this down. Snorlax is in the perfect position for the Unite move. Is tanking everything. But look at Greninja, completely untouched. Mamoswine is tanking. And while Snorlax is delaying, Zeraora does not have the damage to complete this fight. That is a very convincing win for the red team there. Let's see that fight again, as that was quite rough. A valiant attempt. Talonflame ults to the backline, completely separates out Greninja. But look at this. You can see Duraludon, the one who needs to be doing this damage, gets interrupted on the Ruination, on their Unite move, removing so much of the possible damage from blue team, meaning that they were unable to break through the solid front line that was offered by the red team. Orange team trying to set up as best they can. They have been able to turn in quite a lot and extend their lead here with less than a minute to go. Zeraora is on their way across the map, going to try and set up that kill to put themselves in position. At the minute mark, they were told that they were behind. They need to pick up these points and they need to turn in somewhere. Bot lane is the more obvious choice because it's further away from the enemy, but they go for the main base here. They might be able to get this without the immediate knock-up that the rotational engage offers. Here comes the block from Snorlax. He's trying to buy time for the team, but the team is not grouping at all. They're really trying their best to buy time here, but will get ulted by Serena. Snorlax will certainly die here, but have they distracted for their team in any way? We're seeing a lot of dead members on this blue team. This will not be enough. Zeraora has to pull off the miracle play here, will drop the ultimate for any extra damage at all. At this point, the game is over. This is for padding stats. Will get one more kill, but that is going to be GG. Talonflame tried one more time. Looks like they got a couple of their Aeos Orbs in, but this is going to be a dominant win for the members of the orange team. Very convincing. And it all came down to, once again, the Zapdos. Mind Circle getting a lot of points throughout that game. Really great with the split push. Was able to put themselves in a great position to set up for their team. But it's the team fights that they lost every single time. Blue team were never able to actually claim a victorious team fight. And when it comes down to Zapdos, when you only really have a 100-point deficit, that's one full turn in with Zapdos buff from the orange team, and that's all they really needed. They got a couple in, though, to extend that point difference, and that's where we saw the weakness in the blue team. The Snorlax doing some great tanking there. The Duraludon, you're starting to see, we'll have a look at the damage numbers and see how that damage reduction actually affected them here. Wigglytuff trying to drop some CC, but I guarantee that if we have a look at some of these items, we'll probably see quite a few damage boosts, some X attacks here. No full heal, surprisingly, but they were able to do enough. The potion onto the Mamoswine and the Serena so that they could just stay alive even through the crowd control. And it just wasn't enough. They were able to blast through, whereas Mamoswine tanking so hard. A little bit less lucky for the Aegislash here. You can see here are the final scores. Here are the kills. 1 kill for Duraludon. Mind Circle just fully carrying. 5 kills for their team there. Just really just doing as best they can on their own. Greninja, though, 14 kills and 13 assists. It shows you what was happening in this game, that Greninja was just so hard to pin down, so hard to kill, that they were able to pick people off. You saw in that last fight that Talonflame isolated Greninja, but Greninja was able to stay alive through Talonflame, who's a great backline killer, but was still able to tank through and turn it round. Here are the builds, once again, if you want to screenshot them for your own stuff here. We did go for that heavy slam for the Snorlax with the block, going for the maximum amount of crowd control and area control. Could have been good, but in this case, Blue Team were never able to actually gain position and choke point their way to a Zapdos win, which is something Snorlax is so good at because that fight was taken so split, and they were dealing with the highly mobile team, meaning Snorlax was struggling to keep everyone at bay. Very effective here. Those are the abilities once again. Those are the damage numbers as we jump over 30,000 for the Duraludon. Almost a little bit more than Snorlax. Sorry, just a little bit more than Snorlax. Way less than everyone else. Of course, they were on the losing team here, but lower than the lowest member on the side of the orange team. Now you got to wonder whether that was due to the dominant positioning that the game for orange team took, or whether that was due to the nerfs that we have just seen, or whether this is a combination of the two, whether one led to the other. Did these nerfs lead to that more dominant position? We'll have to see whether Duraludon continues some kind of dominance, because in this case, this did look like a pretty significantly weaker performance than some of the Duraludons we have seen in the past pre these nerfs. Damage taken, 81,000 from that Snorlax, though the highest in the game, really showing what that defender can do. Massive amounts more than even the Mamoswine did, who was the defender on the other side. Wiggly caught up quite well, though, with 58,000. Talonflame struggling with 60,000, but also quite a few deaths. Really tried to get onto that backline. Was unable to do so. We can also have a look at the those points here. I remembered how to do that from last time, and you can see if we go over to those score details, you can see just how many of these turn-ins were from the Zeraora here. 4 and 5 at the start of the game, 28 later on. It's 40, a 20, a 10, a 42 right before that Zapdos that we did see. Valiant effort. Really trying to just keep their team ahead. You can see the majority of the game, they were ahead almost exclusively due to Zeraora, who's the only person on the team constantly scoring. But in this case, it did not make a difference due to that late game, where we see very little, couple points at the beginning, which is where we start to see Blue Team creep ahead in that mid to late game. But in the late game, one Zapdos, all it takes. There was about a 200-point difference, 100 maybe, at 150 at max, and then another 300 points come in because of Zapdos and just 3 solid turn-ins. You've either got to make sure you win that Zapdos or kill so many members of the enemy team that the Zapdos does not matter, and Blue Team unfortunately did fall short on both of those features. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've all enjoyed this cast today. I certainly have enjoyed bringing it to you. Thank you, Carpe Guitarum, again, for the suggestion of casting some Snorlax. It was really good to see Snorlax once again. Maybe we'll see them in the future. Maybe they'll get adjusted a bit, or maybe the meta will shift into a more Snorlax-friendly spot. I have been Tetcher. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed these videos and leave a like to show that you liked them. Subscribe so you can see more of them when they come out. And leave a comment if you just want to say hi, have any feedback, or of course want to show your support for my goal of making my way towards the Unite Championship Series, or to request a Pokemon that you would like me to cast. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, night, whatever time it is for you, and I will see you all next time.